Y'all really were not going to let me go enjoy the summer. Here we are back in some mess. Darius Dalton, please come outside. Whew. Fendi, like the bag. This is the I Refuse podcast. Mr. Fox, the I Refuse podcast. Not even 24 hours later, are we back in the mess? So, like I always say, I'm over here in my African American house, minding my African American business. And y'all just keep looping us into the mess. So, Keke Palmer was at an Usher concert recently. I don't know if this was like out in the residency in Vegas. I don't know if it's like a tour or whatever that he's on. At some point during the concert, Usher decides he wants to come down to where Keke Palmer is, to her table to serenade her. Keke Palmer is wearing a very beautiful dress, where the bottom half of the garment is sheer, and she has on what looks like a cat suit underneath. Very cute, very tasteful. You don't see her burning bush. You don't see her butt crack or anything. Like nothing. None of her reproductive system is out. So the video makes its rounds where Usher is serenading Keke Palmer in their clothes, and she's like fanning out, and the usual shit that goes on at concerts, right? And here's where things take a left turn. Her stay-at-home baby daddy, Darius Dalton, decides to go on this high-value, traditional values type of man bullshit on his soapbox. We as a generation, we can't let our women go down like this, and I'm just paraphrasing because it was a bunch of bullshit. So he got that going. First mistake was he attached it to the video so people knew exactly what he was talking about. And then, of course, more men throw themselves on the sword of traditional values, and we got to bring it back to the old school where we can't let our women dress this way or dress provocatively and go to concerts and be, liberated women. We got to keep our women in the house, got to keep them barefoot, got to keep them pregnant. And the thing about it is, first of all, Keke Palmer is the breadwinner of the house, by far. Secondly, from my perspective, any man that is clearly the stay-at-home dad that is, a couple of years removed from to be acting or to be level celebrity should really just be quiet and eat their food and make sure the baby bottle is warm for the baby, make sure the baby's diapers are changed, and just, let Keke Palmer do her thing. There was nothing about that whole exchange between her and Usher that was inappropriate. There was nothing about anything in that situation that screams, oh, well, Keke Palmer is going to jump on that. It's something about a man that just, the insecurity just leaps out. Let's just take it at face value, right? I mean, it is Usher. We know We know Usher can be very charismatic, but Usher is not a threat. Because, first of all, Usher doesn't go for Keke Palmer. Usher would go for Keke Palmer's mom. Like, definitely a Here I Stand Part 2 type of thing. So, there's that. Secondly, for a stay-at-home dad, unemployed, no name, celebrity, I guess, to come at any woman, especially a woman that he is with, over her outfit, her fit, I guess his perceived attitude towards how she was acting. Not a good look. Like, what's going on here? I said to myself, this definitely sounds like the kind of shit a man with his mom's last name would say. Because men go on these dates, men leave the house, occupy a woman's space, time, and life with probably from the first date, most likely, with these little comments where, you know, that comes at a woman's weight, comes at a woman's shape, comes at these unreasonable expectations and standards for these women to, you know, these hoops for these women to jump through. And it's just like, what are you bringing to the table? You know what I mean? Like, here we are, and I have girlfriends I've gone on dates with guys that are just like, on the first date, say, you bottom heavy. What the fuck does that mean? And then you have guys out here that just, you know, they want a girl that's modeled directly after their mother. Oh, she's got to cook, she's got to clean, she's got to do all this and make sure her man looks right, and she has to look right on my arm. And then, you know, they get into the relationship, and as time goes on, a woman has to make numerous compromises to keep her man happy. Keke Palmer is, how old is Keke Palmer? I don't think she's even 30. And here we are. You know, Keke Palmer has been looking really good, has never presented herself, as long as she's been on the TV screen, as someone that is a man-eater or someone that is dependent on a man. Like, Keke Palmer has made a lane for herself, a very non-problematic lane, managed to transition to adulthood in front of the camera, have a very strong, down-to-earth personality, very quick-witted. Like, she's out here interviewing the vice president and being ever so funny. Meme quality moments out the ass, right? So, for Darius Dalton, who really should just take a page out of Travis Scott's book, you could have just sat there, let your girlfriend, not your wife, have a good time. And if I'm not mistaken, she chose you. So what's really going on? Like, we're in this era where men and sometimes women are showing their cards. Like, we weren't looking for you the past 2 years or so that y'all been together. We were perfectly fine with you just being in the photos with Keke Palmer. She's on your lap. Y'all look cute. very happy in life with you being on mute. You didn't have to strive for the main character, main character syndrome that tends to be the thing every week. There's a main character on social media. For you to go and pipe up, like the insecurity really leapt out. And Usher is so non-problematic, but just the mere mention or the mere sight of Usher doing his job, Usher being the smooth R&B singer, you feel some kind of way. Well, she shouldn't be wearing that when all up on Usher like that. La, 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 la. You need to be checking on them bottles on the stove, brother. Make sure the baby's well taken care of, feed the baby, burp the baby, change the baby's diapers. Make sure there's no diaper rash. Make sure the baby has his nap on time. Make sure the baby's in bed at a decent hour. And mama be home when mama be home. So, how do we get here, right? How do we get here to where men just are assholes? And please believe it was very much justified for Darius Dalton to be ate up the way he was, and which still continues at the production of this video. That's because y'all are really, when men and sometimes women get on their soapbox and start bringing those archaic attitudes to the forefront, it's not surprising that as we dig deeper, that people like this are like all around conservatives. Conservatives, Republicans, Trump stars, that are more concerned with power and control, viewing women as subservient to them, as property. It's very much given like Frank Mitchell over Moesha Mitchell situation, where they're all about the power control and all that other stuff, but 9 times out of 10, they're not practicing what they preach. They did research. Twitter, the Bird app, just never disappoints. They did research on this guy, this Darius Dalton. Alleged apologist, rape apologist, those people that throw themselves on the sword for sexual predators and sexual assault perpetrators, celebrity and non-celebrity male, gatekeeping and justifying their existence, Then they dig a little deeper, right? This man allegedly forced a previous girlfriend to get an abortion. I don't fault Keke all the way around for the selection she made. No matter how old we get, we tend to fall for tall, light-skinned, cute, but in hindsight, very much mid at a guy, a guy or a female. Date them pretty quickly, have a baby by them pretty quickly. And the funny thing about it is this Darius Dalton guy, in his response to that video, on the one hand is showing himself to be very conservative and have this expectation of a woman to be holy and pure and act right in public, while in the next breath um, knocking up a female out of wedlock. And you're just the boyfriend. Like, it's tragic. The contradiction and the irony is very tragic. I'm gonna keep praying for Keke. You know, like, I'm sure when she got home, or you know, her phone was blowing up and she had some conversations about the tweets and stuff, that she really gave him a tongue lashing, and didn't let up. Because I don't know who he thought he was talking to, but I know Keke Job Palmer is the last person to play with. She's a Virgo and she's from Chicago. Yeah. Oh, she read him the right act when she got home. And rightfully so, because, brother, what are you doing? Like, this whole situation is very much giving me one of the Maori girls and that Corey Hardwick guy. Now, neither one of them have come out publicly to talk about the straw that broke the camel's back for their marriage, but when you have a dynamic or a relationship and it's clear, you know, one person in the relationship is a household name while the other person is like, we're not sure what the heck you do, but whatever you're doing, otherwise you're doing the most of, none of which contributes to the health of the household, right? Like, what does this guy do? What does Darius do? I'll wait. So, you know, I'm gonna keep pulling for Keke Palmer. She stays booked and busy. She looks so good, and I'm so happy for her. Like, growing into adulthood and being a full-fledged woman while remaining non-problematic. And I'm so glad that the Bird app did not waste any time eating her baby daddy up. Because it's shit like this that keeps men from being kept. And thank God he exposed himself early. Keke got a beautiful baby out of the situation, and she keeps her career unscathed. Like, y'all almost ate her up over the Felicia Rashad thing, or the Claire Huxtable thing. Like, y'all are so damn sensitive that y'all will jump on people first and then process shit after. Like, Claire Huxtable was bougie. Like, yes, good positive black image of a two-parent household, albeit a little bit unrealistic given the show was on during the crack epidemic. But definitely what was needed. But let's keep it above. Nothing that Keke Palmer said was problematic when it comes to talking about Claire Huxtable. And quiet as is kept, a lot of people in the last few years were jumping on the anti-Felicia Rashad bandwagon when she seemingly caped for Bill Cosby. I mean, that's a whole nother episode for a whole nother day. But in general, Keke Palmer is non-problematic. And unfortunately, even with that, she fell for the pretty boy, tall, light-skinned, seemingly unemployed or between jobs. And now he is showing himself to be an old school conservative, double standard keeping asshat. And he's like, what, 22, 23? Keke, run for the hills, girl. This is Miss Fox, the I Refuse podcast. Check out the I Refuse podcast. 4 seasons on the 8 platforms that we showed you over here. We're on Twitter at I Refuse Podcast. Follow and subscribe there. Don't forget the YouTube channel where this is, and follow and subscribe on the Instagram at I Refuse Podcast. underscore between the words. Gonna beef this YouTube channel up more while we're between season 4 and season 5. Season 5 will be dropping in the fall. And we're going in a different direction this time. I like to switch it up. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, enjoy the roughly 130 episodes of the I Refuse podcast that's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And when you go search for it, it's an image of me in a white t-shirt sitting on the stool with red shoes. And with a white shirt with blue letters that say not sorry. That's me. So stay hydrated because it's warm as a bitch out here. I had to lay down yesterday. Stay hydrated. Stay high. Read a lot of books. I'm getting into 2 books. Gonna continue to read the 1619 Project, which is so deep. And the I Am Ace book by Ace Dad Cody Cody. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Try not to be too messy, because if you do, I'll be back up on this bitch. Bye.